When one of Trump's so-called star witnesses walked into Congress, he thought it was his moment to shine. But what happened next wasn't a testimony. It was a takedown. Representative Jasmine Crockett, sharp-tongued, fearless, and unapologetic, didn't just question Tony Bobulinski, she dismantled him. This wasn't just another political sparring match. It was the moment a viral hearing became a masterclass in accountability, and a mirror reflecting everything wrong with American politics right now. Before we dive in, if you want more fearless breakdowns and political truth without the partisan noise, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and join the conversation. The stage was set in the House Oversight Committee. Republicans had called Tony Bobulinski, a former associate of Hunter Biden, to testify, painting him as a whistleblower in their long-running push to impeach President Biden. But from the start, it felt off. The hearing had more drama than evidence, more accusations than facts. And in the middle of it all sat Crockett, calm, measured, and ready. When it was her turn to speak, the tone of the entire room shifted. Crockett began by doing what she does best, cutting through the noise. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't shout. She simply asked questions that Tony Bobulinski clearly didn't want to answer. Do you know who Elections LLC is? Yeah. Well, it's not a who, it's a what. And is it the LLC your attorney works for? Then came the reveal that Bobulinski's lawyer's firm had been paid by Save America PAC, Donald Trump's own political operation. In that instant, Crockett exposed the connection that undercut Bobulinski's independence. The whistleblower wasn't blowing the whistle. He was playing for a team. From there, things spiraled. Bobulinski, visibly irritated, tried to interrupt, but Crockett wasn't having it. When I ask you a question, that's when you answer. Otherwise, I'm talking. The hearing fell silent. In that moment, Crockett wasn't just controlling the room, she was exposing the imbalance of credibility that's plagued this entire impeachment inquiry. And then she listed them, one by one. The people Bobulinski had called liars. The FBI, Hunter Biden, James Gilliard, Cassidy Hutchinson, even the Wall Street Journal. To Bobulinski, everyone was lying except him. What Crockett was really doing wasn't just sparring, she was building a case. If every institution, every journalist, every witness is lying except one man connected to Trump's orbit, then maybe the problem isn't everyone else. Maybe the problem is the story itself. This impeachment inquiry wasn't built on facts, it was built on faith. Faith that if you repeat something long enough, it becomes truth. But Crockett didn't let that pass. She reminded everyone that Hunter Biden had already testified for over 6 hours behind closed doors. Every Republican member had a chance to question him. No restrictions, no limits. So why drag this spectacle into the public eye again? Because it wasn't about justice. It was about performance. Crockett compared it perfectly. It feels like the worst episode of The Apprentice. And in many ways, that's what it was. A political audition, one where witnesses like Bobulinski tried to impress a single audience of one, Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the facts, the actual evidence, faded into the background. Crockett turned to another witness, Lev Parnas, a former Trump associate convicted of fraud. When asked if Trump had any associates found guilty of crimes, Parnas didn't hesitate. Yes, lots of them, me included. That moment hit like a hammer, because in the hearing meant to prove Biden's corruption, it was Trump's world that kept showing up in the evidence. By the end of her questioning, Crockett didn't just humiliate Bobulinski, she demystified the entire production. The Biden impeachment inquiry wasn't an investigation anymore. It had become political theater, built on debunked documents, fueled by Trump-linked witnesses, and sustained by media amplification that thrives on outrage, not truth. Crockett's closing tone wasn't triumph, it was warning. If the justice system becomes a stage for politics, if truth becomes a matter of loyalty, then democracy becomes the next casualty. When the hearing ended, one thing was clear. Crockett wasn't there to win applause. She was there to remind the country that facts still matter even when politics forgets that. Her voice echoed what millions of Americans feel but rarely see reflected in Congress.
Someone standing firm, refusing to be bullied, and calling power by its name. Bobulinski walked in expecting to make headlines. Instead, Jasmine Crockett made history. If you believe accountability still matters, if you're tired of political theater masquerading as justice, hit that like button, subscribe to Mouthpiece, and drop a comment below. This isn't left versus right anymore. It's truth versus performance, and only one side can win.